I spent some time this morning clearing up this little space here next to my paper shredder so that I can hopefully move these stacks of books and the books behind them on the actual bookshelf over to this corner so that I can organize all of these like projects and things I have going on. So this stuff right here are all my acrylographs that I need to swatch and label so that I can put them in the little clear bin on that shelf. This tote right here is all of my one little word things that I'm always working on. Then I have a shelf with folios and Post-it notes. I got some washi on a shelf and my stickers. Moving over, we have art supplies, mostly painting, some colored pencils, more art stuff. And down here we have some tripods, microphones, various other recording equipment. The anti-planner and the book underneath that are ones that I need to do videos for of reviews. Here we've got stuff for giveaways. And in the corner, I have more art supplies. So I really, really want to get this stuff organized and decluttered, but I can't do it because I just don't have the room for it. And I don't have room on my bookshelf in the living room for the books because it's full of books that I have read. And yes, I have already decluttered them many times. I just cannot bear to get rid of any more books. Okay, let's take a look at our Shop Your Stash for January. I am gonna give myself a little pat on the back for January. I think I did really well. For books, I read one book from my physical stack And I only brought in one physical book, which doesn't really count because it was a pre-order, so it was already included in my book total. So I'm kind of ahead there. But then if we look at stickers, this is where I did really well. I used 32 sticker sheets in January, and the only stickers I bought came in the Archer and Olive Ticket to My Heart box, which had 8 stickers and 4 rolls of washi. And I used the washi and the stickers to set up my February bullet journal. So I would say that is pretty good. Now, I am doing something that I am not tracking in here with my stash, and that is my beauty samples. So let me get the bullet journal out of the way here. So this bag was stuffed full, overflowing, whatever you want to call it, at the beginning of January. I have actually used a lot of items already from here. I'm not tracking it anywhere. I don't know what they were. I don't know how many I used, but I am working my way through all of these. Okay, so looking at the items in my beauty stash that I am currently using, the first is this Proteini polypeptide cream from Drunk Elephant. I would not buy this. It's okay. It feels like it sits on top of my skin. I will probably finish this up maybe in February. I'm going through it pretty quickly because I do use it right now as my daily moisturizer. The other item that I've been using in January that'll last a little bit is this water sleeping mask. And as you can see, there's still quite a bit in there. And I happen to have another larger sample that I got. I don't know that I would purchase this on its own. It's okay. Nothing too special, nothing that I'm like, ooh, I have to have it. This one here is the lip sleeping mask. Now this one I will order when I run out of this. This is the berry one. There are other flavors on their website, but as you can see, you don't need a whole lot, so this will probably last quite a while. But I do think this really helps my dry lips. I haven't really looked at much else in here yet. There's some hair items. I do have one of these. This is the Amika brand. And I do have one of their like conditioners or hair masks in the shower right now that I am using. I do like it. I'm undecided if I would purchase it again, but I have not used the dry shampoo or this instant shine mask yet. So yeah, that is just a little bit of my shop your stash that I'm doing, that I'm not tracking, and I'm not like limiting myself on these beauty purchases. I'm just trying to use up like all of the samples that I've gotten recently. All right, so that is how my shop your stash has gone in January. Let me know in the comments what items you have included in your shop your stash to be a little bit more vigilant about purchasing and how that is going for you. I would love to hear what you're doing. All right, we have reached the budget portion of our reset. Now we still have a couple days left in January, so I'm not completely closing out yet, but I have done a lot of the work. First, we have our little dashboard here. So I have my assets and liabilities completed. I have my net worth and my debt avalanche done. The only thing I have left to account for on this page is my asthma appointment on the 31st, which will be I think it's a $70 copay. Flipping ahead to our category spending. Now, I set this up at the beginning of the month and I put in my numbers just a little bit differently. I have it set up as checking and credit card, but what I did is I went through all of my tracked spending and I added all of the categories up and put them in the checking line. Now, there are a couple categories where in the next couple of days we are going to spend again, and then I'll put them in the credit card and total them out. So, for example, food, we are going to the grocery store tomorrow. That's going to add another $100 to $200 depending on what we purchase. And then, as I said, I have that asthma appointment with the copay, so the health will have an additional amount here before I can total that up. And of course, the personal and the miscellaneous, I may add to those in the next few days. I am looking at a pair of shoes and a zip-up hoodie, which would go under the personal. Currently, I have $277 spent in that category. I would probably say I'll spend another 100-ish maybe on the two items that I'm looking at. So overall, housing, spot on, easy to predict that one. Transportation, easy to predict. Utilities were a few dollars less. Food, we're gonna go over that with our grocery trip tomorrow. With food, we had a lot of eating out. We had a Costco run, and we are going to end up having 3 grocery runs at the end of the month just because of how the weekends that we shop fall. So I am not too worried about going over in the food budget because that is something we enjoy spending money on. We enjoy going out to eat. We like to eat healthy. I have to eat gluten-free, which increases our cost a little bit. Moving on to gifts. I was pretty right on with the gift I had to buy, the gift I wanted to buy. Pets, we ended up going a little bit over. I did not realize that her rabies vaccination appointment would be as much as it was. Not a big deal. Health, I am gonna end up going over that because I have that asthma copay coming up, and I bought a couple of things, the food prep and the Ninja blender that I put under health because I'm trying to lose weight, lower my blood pressure, eat healthier, all that stuff. So to me, that goes under health. Entertainment, we're under. Personal, I think I'm gonna be under. Like I said, there's only a couple of other items that I'm thinking about purchasing that do not put me over $465. Miscellaneous, I have no other plans for anything in the next couple of days. So unless something comes up, I will be under budget there as well. I put this stuff here, but I'm not gonna fill that in because I've already got it over here. So that is our budget category overview for the month. As you can see, I went through and highlighted all of my spending. And what I'm gonna do is bring over some of these totals that I know aren't going to change into my category breakdown and spending comparison. Real quick look at the category breakdown. As you can see, I had more greens than red. So far, the only one I've gone over is pet. We know the health and the food will also go over, just not by how much yet. And taking a look at the spending comparison, there's not really anything that jumps out at me. I bought something for the house in December. We had our insurance payment in December. Of course, Christmas, so we had more gift buying. And for my affiliate earnings, I am only going to put in what I was paid out in the month of January, not what I earned. So that's how I'm going to go by that. And I'm just going to round numbers because I like round numbers. Okay, so as I said, these numbers are just what was paid out in January. I obviously earned money in some of these categories, but they all have different thresholds or levels at which they pay out, or different number of days that things have to wait until they're paid out. So I figured it would just be easier to track what I was actually paid out in the month rather than what I earned in the month. So that is how I am figuring those out. Okay, so now I only have a couple of other things in here. This is my net worth tracker. I've already done it for January. This is savings, retirement minus credit card and mortgage. So this does not include the estimated value of the house. I need to put in the annual spending for January, at least the categories that I know. And this is why I do everything in pencil, because I wrote stuff in the wrong spot. So that is the annual spending. At the end of the year, I will total everything up over there. These are just quarterly and monthly. I have decided to track my credit score at the end of each month using the Experian number. I have like 800 million different credit scores depending on which credit card or company I look at. And they range from anywhere from 770 to like 805. So I decided I was going to go with Experian. And at the end of every month, I will log in, check what it's at, write it in here, and then chart it on this little graph. And then over here, I have my earnings. And so I had none here, and I had 59. So my total is 59. And that is everything for the budget. How did your January budget go? Was it better than, say, December? Did you stick to all your spending categories? Did you go over anywhere? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to talk budget with you. We are now into our last part of the reset, our goals. For January, I did okay. I read 4 books. I actually read 5 books. I worked on some art stuff. The daily self-care was hit or miss. I did have my breakfast date. I did plan my trip. I only watched 1 landscape video. I didn't really work on photography or coaching. I did work on my content. Run 5 times a week. That was okay until I got sick. And then I just kind of didn't run for 10 days. Put together strength routine and do 2 times a week. Started off okay, then went downhill. PM routine, again, started off strong, went downhill at the end of the month. I did do my Club Moxie and my Wild You stuff. I did some journaling. I got off track this week. I did use my stash. I followed my low, no buy rules. I set up a monthly and weekly budget and followed it. And I did watch 1 module in my budget course. And I did a really good job getting back into weekly and daily cleaning tasks. The rotating and monthly tasks, I did some of them, not all of them. Declutter and deep clean the living room. I did the decluttering part. I'm still working on the cleaning part. It is taking me longer than I thought because I have about 1 million other things that I try to do every month. So overall, not too bad on the goals. We're going to flip ahead to February. I'm not gonna do anything with the monthly calendar. I did not use it at all in January. I have been using the one in my Erin Condren, so I don't use this one. All right, so those are my goals for February. It is a shorter month. I've been sick the last week and a half, so I'm trying to give myself some grace. Let me know in the comments how your January went for your goals. Did you accomplish everything? What do you need to move forward to February? What do you want to do in February? And that is all she wrote. We are done with our monthly reset. Until next month, I hope your coffee is strong enough to power you through everything you need to get done.